Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Naomi, and today I have a really great, quick, fun body weight strength practice for you. Now we are doing a 9-minute EMOM today. EMOM stands for every minute on the minute. So the whole purpose of this practice is to get you moving quickly, but also to give you a little bit of space after each exercise so that you can rest and recover before you start the next exercise on the minute. So if you are ready to grow, grab a chair because you're going to need a chair today. You shouldn't need any weights, but do have some just in case because I do give you the option to grab a weight in the event that you want to step it up just a little bit. So have a set of weights, have a chair, and let's get into it. I'll see you on the other side. So let's get started with our 3 EMOM exercises. Today we're doing a 9-minute EMOM. That means that we are going to do one exercise every minute on the minute. We're doing 3 different exercises, so we're going to cycle through them 3 times. And we're going to do jump squats. We're going to do lunges that slide from one side of your mat to the other. And you're going to do incline push-ups. Now, if 1 or 2 or 3 of those just doesn't feel quite right for you, that's fine. I'm going to offer you some really great modifications as well. But let's get started with the jump squat so that you have an idea of what you're getting into. So your jump squats, feet are hip width apart. You're going to bend your knees, swing arms back, jump up and land. Right? Pretty basic. Right? Jump squats. Now, if the idea of jumping with that intensity does not feel like a good idea to you, you have a couple of options. You could simply do air squats, meaning you are squatting down, these are unweighted, and you come on back up. Squat down, come on back up. Okay, if you want a little bit more spice to your squats, you want something in between the squat and the jump squat, you could squat down and push up onto your toes, squat down and push up onto your toes so your heels come away from the floor. If balance is an issue there, you could use a chair because you're going to need a chair anyway for the incline push-ups, and you can have them out in front of you, squat down and push. Squat down and push. Okay, so 3 options for those jump squats. Second exercise are lateral slides. Now what that means is you're going to start at one side of your mat, step over into a lateral lunge, shin knee bends, opposite leg is straight, then you slide that leg in, step over, slide that leg in. Now we've been doing these all month long in Move, so these probably feel very familiar to you. The reminder here, and I'm going to go to the side, is that it's not about how far you go, it's that you want your butt to go back, chest forward, slide in, step over, butt back, slide in. So your step can be more narrow, so long as you're getting your hips back and using your inner thighs to pull in. Now, because we've been doing these all month long, you can add a little weight if you want, right? You can hold a weight at your chest in both hands, hips back as you step over, slide and pull in, step over, slide and pull in. Okay, so that's an option since we've been doing it all month, or if you just want something to progress into. Now, if the idea of doing that controlled fall of the lateral lunge doesn't feel good, you can simply keep your feet where they are and simply lateral lunge from one side to the other. Right? Same idea, just a little bit less of that intensity of landing with your hips back. Okay? Now, the last exercise in the EMOM, we're doing push-ups. Now, I like doing incline push-ups because they feel a lot stronger for my body, so that's what I'm giving you as an option. You can, of course, if you are a push-up wizard and you love them, you are free to do them on the floor, but I want to give you the incline push-up because I think that it's a little bit more accessible, particularly when you are working on upper body strength. So you are at your chair, your body's on the diagonal, all in a line, so you're not sagging down with your hips or piking your butt up, all in one line. You're keeping the core of your body tense and tight. You bend your elbows out to the sides as your ribs move toward the chair, and then you push away. Now, what you want to avoid is keeping your butt lifted as your chest goes down and swinging everything in, melting toward the chair, and then hoisting back up. You want it to be all in one piece, steady and controlled, okay? Now, if for whatever reason it doesn't feel great on your wrists or on your shoulders, you can instead do rows. You can do single arm rows or bent over rows. This, of course, would require weights. Your single arm rows, you could use that chair. Just doing one at a time. Okay? Or bent over rows, you got the weights in each hand. Same idea. You're pulling the weights up towards your waist, up towards your ribs. Shoulders are going up and onto your back. Okay? So that is your alternate option instead of doing incline push-ups if you're just not feeling it. Okay? So now knowing what we're going to do, gather the props that you need, your chair, your weights if you're going to use them, and let's get right into our EMOM. Now I'm going to keep track of the time, so I'm going to let you know when each minute happens. Here's what to keep in mind. For this EMOM, you are going to want to do 10 of your squats, whether they're jump squats, whether they are the squats to lift, or whether you're just squatting down and lifting, 10 of those, 10 total of your lateral lunge slides. That's 5 on each side. And then if you're doing the incline push-ups, you're aiming for 5, okay? If you are doing those single arm rows at the chair, 5 on each side. If you're doing the rows bent over, no chair, you can go for 10, okay? Now with the incline push-ups, I'm saying 5 because I think that it's the one that's going to take the most time. But again, if you are a push-up champ and you want to go for 10, you can go for that. Just know that that is something that you can build up to over time. So it isn't something that you have to do today. It's something that you can get to eventually. All right. So all that said, let's get into our EMOM. I'm going to start the timer now. So we're starting this first minute. We're doing those squats, landing solidly on your feet. If you're jumping, and then when you're done, you get to rest. So I am done. We have about 35 seconds before that next exercise begins. Next exercise are those lateral lunge slides. So you can catch your breath, especially if you did the jumping. So that's going to get your heart rate up a little bit. And the cool thing about the EMOM is that there is some time built in for rest, but once that next minute hits, you get going. So we have 7 seconds. I'm going to count you down. You 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lateral lunge slides. Remember, the goal here is to get hips back. Not so much step your legs as wide apart as you can. And to really use those inner thigh muscles to slide in. Yeah. You're aiming for 5 on each side, 10 total. And when you're done, so I'm done with mine, have about 20 seconds left. And then we're going to that last exercise in the EMOM, incline push-ups or your rows. Okay, I'm going to do the incline push-ups. We have about 10 seconds. I'm going to count you down from 5 so you have an idea. So you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, incline push-ups. And again, that is it. Now, like I said, I just did 5. If you want to aim for 10, that's fine. Then it would be 10, 10, 10, right, for your EMOM. But if your incline push-ups feel a little bit more challenging, or if you are doing them on the floor, or if you're doing the bent over rows, that might take a little bit more time. So you want to take that into consideration when you are doing your EMOM. right? Do you have enough time so that you have a little bit of recovery in between each exercise before you move on to the next minute? We have 10 seconds, and that means we're back to our jump squats. Okay, I'm gonna do, instead of jump squats, I'm gonna do those lifts so that you have an idea of the time that might take. And we start now. I know I didn't count you down. Remember, as you squat, your arms will likely go forward, and as you lift off, arms go back. Now that's gonna be true if you're jumping or if you're just squatting. As you squat down, your arms go forward. As you come up to stand, your arms go back and down. Right? Same as if you're jumping. I lost count. We're gonna say that's 10. There's about 30 seconds left before we move on to those slides. Okay, again, because we've been doing these all month long, if you want to do this with a weight in your hands, you're totally free to. That will add a little bit of time, of course, because you are weighting it. You have 10 seconds. I'll count you down this time. I won't forget. Okay, so we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm gonna go with that more basic lateral lunge, not stepping over, just so you can see. So if this is you, this is a great place to work. You are still working your inner thighs. You can really imagine trying to press your left knee, if you're bending your left knee wide, while resisting with your opposite leg. So remember, you're aiming for 5 in each side. And then we have about 20 seconds. And we're moving on to the last exercise in our EMOM, which are push-ups. I'm gonna stick with the push-ups just to be consistent there. But if you are doing single arm rows, if you are doing bent over rows, you have 5 seconds. Remember, you can do that too. And we start now. So grab the weights if you're doing the rows. Otherwise, you've got some push-ups. Aiming your ribs toward the edge of the chair. So you are lowering down all in one piece. And remember, 5 is a great place to start. We have not been doing these all month, right? These are sort of leading into what we're doing next month in moves. So if it's been a while since you've done incline push-ups, remember, it's okay to start with 5. 5 is a great place to be. If you get 4, that's fine. Wherever you are, you can always build and increase from there. And it's always better to start a little lower to get a sense of what feels good in your body, rather than starting at a really high number and going, oh, my body doesn't feel good after it happens, right? Okay, we have about 8 seconds left. I'll count you down, beginning our last set. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Got your squats. Remember to land solidly on your feet. Let your arms help you. Swing them back as you jump up. They land forward as you squat down. That might have been one more than 10. It's really hard to keep count while I'm doing it and also talking and teaching. It's tricky. We get to rest. We have about 20 seconds left before we move on to those lateral lunge slides. It's good to get your heart rate up. All right, we have 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lateral lunge slides. Remember to use those inner thighs. If you're stepping over and pulling in, squeeze in and up. Hips go back. Chest goes forward. You can make whatever sound effects you need. So, and then when you've done your lateral lunge slides, I am done. We have about 20 seconds. Last exercise in the last set. So these, remember, these are our incline push-ups. You're aiming for 5 total, unless you're just rocking it today and you are feeling super strong. So we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go for it. Now, if you are continuing with those single arm rows or the bent over rows, that's great too. And then when you're done, you're done. And we're not even at 9 minutes. If you're still going because you're doing rows, rows are going to take a little bit longer. That's fine. Just give your shoulders a little roll. Shake out your hands. Give your whole body a little shake. Because that was a lot in a short period of time. We're going to take just a few breaths, a little bit of movement to recover before we move on to our flow. Thank you so much for joining me for that 9-minute EMOM. You might be catching your breath right now. That is totally legit. I also had to, because EMOMs are really dynamic. That's the point. The idea is to get you through a workout really quickly and efficiently so that the rest is built in to those minute-long blocks. Now, this particular practice was recorded live in my online studio, Move with Naomi. And it was at the very end of a month where we had been working on some of the elements that you saw in the EMOM today, but I was also introducing some other pieces of it that we are going to work on in this next month coming up based on the yoga practices that we are doing. This month in Move, we're working on wheel pose. So we do want a lot of power in the legs from those jump squats, but we also really want to work on upper body push and steadiness and power so that you can push off of the floor in wheel. Now, when I'm creating these strength-based practices for my online studio, the idea for me is to incorporate strength into the practices in a way that enhances the yoga. So what I can say about how I've added strength to my practice over the past 10 years is that even though my wheel pose might not be quite as deep as it was when I was in my 20s, and I was much more flexible, and I could move a lot more easily into those deep spinal back bends, I am a lot stronger now. So my back bends don't hurt in the way that they did, right? My low back doesn't feel tweaky when I push into wheel. My shoulders don't feel funny. My wrists don't bug me. So a lot of what I'm trying to do in these strength-based practices is to prepare you for some of those poses that might occasionally feel tweaky or challenging or just not great in your body because there's less stability, and to build in that strength and build in that stability so when you do the yoga pose, it actually feels really good. So if you want to work on wheel this month, and if you want a little bit more access to that power, to practices that incorporate power in the legs, strength in the upper body, and spinal mobility, check out what we have going on in Move. We have a lot of fun there. You can check out the caption below. There's a link to get more information, and there's a coupon code so you can get 50% off your first 2 months. I would love to see you on the mat there, but I'm really glad that you made it here today. So wherever you join me on the mat, thank you for taking the time to move with me, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon. Until then.